Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. This quote expresses the freedom to perceive beauty and attractiveness from different points of view. Also, but at the same time, there was something that is called Asian beauty standards or Western beauty standards that promotes a specific kind of image, a specific framework which people have to fit in to be considered as beautiful. I heard this quote from the Barbie movie and immediately knew that I have to include it here as an example. Women have to be thin, but not too thin, and we can never say we want to be thin. We have to say we want to be healthy, but at the same time, we have to actually be thin. We have to always stay pretty for men, but not so pretty that we tempted them too much or that we threaten other women because we are supposed to be a part of the sisterhood. On the other hand, men are seen as handsome when they're strong, tall, masculine, or aggressive. They cannot cry in front of the public, show that they're sad, or express their love for a simple color, pink. And what I have just listed out here are the definitions of beauty and the beauty standards in a lot of different cultures. However, I know that me and some of us right here might not agree with that. In fact, the definition of beauty varies from person to person. But I'm here to insist that there's only one kind of beauty that we are all born to strive for. And before diving deep into such an abstract topic, I would like to do a small experiment here on stage. As you can see, I have this mannequin here, which is oddly only dressed in a skirt. Just by looking at this mannequin, some people think it is half naked. Others think it is half clothed. What about you? What is the first thing that comes to your mind? Now, can I please see your hands if you think the mannequin is half naked? Great, thank you very much. And others, can I please see your hands if you think the mannequin is half clothed? Wow, great, thank you very much. The secret here is there's actually no right or wrong answer for this question. However, if I provided for you the context beforehand, for example, let's say this mannequin is fully dressed in the beginning and I take its top off, it is likely that this mannequin is half naked because it is undressing, right? But on the other hand, if this mannequin is completely undressed in the beginning and I put a skirt on for it, it is likely that the mannequin is half clothed because it is dressing up. So what I wanted to point out through this experiment is that we, some of us and most of us here, are very quick to label and hold our opinion on a subject without knowing its whole context. We instead use our very own imaginations or judgment. And I'm not here to criticize you about that. It's actually a part of life. It's normal, completely normal. That's how our brain works. We take shortcuts in the process of thinking. And similarly, we are also often based on our cultural standards, knowledge, to measure beauty. Conversely, in a scientific research paper that discussed about social judgment theory that was conducted by the Bowling Green State University in the United States, the functionalism of our brain was defined like this. If one wants to understand a behavior of an organism, one must strive to understand that organism in its ecology. That is, to understand those aspects of the environment and the context that the organism is preserving. Well, we can see a huge difference between the theory and reality. So the question here is, why is there such a big difference? The answer is fairly simple, because there are so many external elements that could alter and affect the way our brain was designed to originally work. As I've said, we take shortcuts. Instead of finding out the backgrounds and the context of each thing that appeared in our life, which obviously took a lot of time and effort, we jump right into our own conclusion because we think our experience is reasonable enough. Well, that seems to be a pretty normal thing of life, right? But let me tell you a story when this harsh reality of life changes the whole beautiful anecdote. One day, there was a teenage girl who stepped into a wedding room with her favorite pair of jeans. It was a navy blue, high-rise, a kind of plain mom jeans. It was a simple piece of clothing, but it was special for her. Because not only it was her birthday present, but it was also there to hide her big, dark bruise that she hid under her left leg. When she stepped into the room, she instantly felt a sense of disconnection. Why? Because all the women in the room were dressed in their absolutely beautiful, silky satin dress, which gave them an absolutely classy and elegant look. She hesitated, of course, but decided to walk in anyway, because she knew that she was dressed in her utmost comfortable yet confident outfit. Later on, as she was met by a complete stranger, a woman, which were dressed in her beautiful dress, she was told, "Hai con mặc quần jeans đi dự đám cưới hả? Gàn dữ ta. Con thấy quần jeans cũng dễ thương, nhưng mà con có nghĩ là những cái váy, những cái đầm nó làm mình nữ tính mà nó đẹp hơn nhiều không? Những cái quần jeans này làm mình nhìn nam tính lắm." Translation are on the slide. After that incident, the more people she greeted, the more inquiries about her jeans appeared. The teenage girl was absolutely hurt. She doubted about her clothing choice. She thought she showed up pretty. Just like this mannequin here, the girl was judged by a complete stranger. Later on, she went home with a bunch of unanswered questions in her mind. Why am I bold for wearing jeans? Why are dresses prettier? What if I did not show up with jeans? What if I put on a dress? What if I did not wear anything at all? Yes, what if all of us were naked? If beauty, femininity are shown through the simple piece of fabric that we put on our body, so what will human become when we're all naked? As she embarked on her journey of finding out her own question, she gradually realized that she was much more than that pair of jeans that made her look boyish. As she went on through her journey, the thought of nakedness wandered in her mind for a long, long time. She was curious about the correlation of naked and beauty. And now, I will take you through her journey. But first off, let's define what is naked. When I type in the Google search bar the definition for naked, these are the results that came out. 1, of a person or a body part without clothes. 2, of things such as feelings or behaviors, undisguised, blatant, just like the naked truth. These two definitions are also the two aspects of naked that I am going to discuss today: mentally naked and physically naked. We all know, I bet that we all know what physically naked is, right? Without clothes. But let me explain more about the mentally naked part. Mentally naked is the state when one's feelings and behaviors are completely vulnerable and exposed. Having that into account, let's analyze the art of being naked with the girl in the anecdote. Well, the first thing that she found out about being naked, and that is the first advantage, is that fostering self-acceptance and promoting body positivity. When we're physically naked, we're stripped of any clothes, accessories, or items that we use to conceal ourselves every day. For example, a corset might make my waist look slimmer. A layer of makeup foundation could hide my acne. But deep inside of me, I and we all know that that extremely small waist or that flawless glass skin is not mine. Taking all of those beauty products up, what is left? Ourself, completely raw. And being true to this rawness leads to a great acceptance of our body as it truly is. And this acceptance later allow ourselves to have a great sense of comfort within our own shape and size. Well, the second advantage of nakedness that she found out was she breaks the boundaries of beauty standards and she challenges the societal norms. Well, according to Mallory Fallen Master Thesis, which was conducted to study about the embodiment of Asian stereotypes, what I came across was shockingly horrifying. In China, fat people, usually women, are denied work for being both fat and ugly. In Singapore, fat children are targeted. Since the 1992, elementary school children who are deemed overweight according to height and weight charts are put into a compulsory exercise and a strict diet program. Elementary school student. In the United States, this growing anti-fat culture has proven detrimentally to girls and women. And all of these results in disorders, eating disorders, an unhealthy diet, and sometimes depression. But we here all know that we cannot change the whole society ourselves, but we can absolutely change the way we perceive our own beauty. How, you may ask? Now, let's look at this video to find out the answer. Now, we always deem nature as a side of beauty, but we never realize that we're also a part of it. No tree pattern would look like one another, no cloud would look alike, and nothing in nature is the same, although it is titled as one thing. Us humans are like that too, although we're titled as Homo sapiens, as human, but we all have our own names, our own personality, and our own characteristic that made us very unique. Well, we never look at the sky and wonder, why is the cloud today so ugly, right? Or we never could ever find a single tree pattern that would look perfect. However, we have that judgment of imperfections and ugliness on ourselves and sometimes others. No, none of us deserve that. Being naked will help us realize that we resemble nature and that we are actually nature ourselves. All of us here in this room or out there, no matter if we identify as girls, guys who want to be dressed as girls, girls who want to be seen as guys, people with disabilities, scars, acne, bruises, the girl in the story, me, and you, all of us are here existing on this earth to complete a beautiful part of the picture that the Mother Nature gave us. We're here to complete it, so we're beautiful in our own specific way. So, after you've heard this, you might think that, oh, it's such a beautiful thing to exist on this earth. Yes, and that is also the thing that I want to tell you about, the very moral of my presentation. And I'm not gonna hide it any further. I'm actually the girl in the story. By far, we have all know those definitions and those advantages of being naked, right? But there must be some way to make it a more practical a more realistic approach to this issue. For that, I have made myself a very practical practice that might sound a little bit strange at first, but please just bear with me. Whenever you feel insecure about yourself, please stand right in front of the mirror. Now, I want you to confront yourself and reflect yourself. After that, please shift your sight to the body parts that you might feel insecure about. Look at it for a while. After that you have done that, now think of anything beautiful in nature that the body part might resemble. Take some time to observe it, and please do this step to every body part that you feel the same way. The last one, once you've done all of those steps that I've mentioned, please look at your whole body once again. Confront yourself, your truest and your most authentic self. Having that you have a resemblance of nature in your body, your thoughts now about yourself might be much more lighter. You might feel more comfortable about it. Now, this is a warning. These steps and this practice might take a few to a lot of times practicing to really see and acknowledge and then embrace ourselves. I did it. It was tough, but it was really worth trying. Well, looking back at me and my journey, embracing my scars, my imperfections, and come to love myself is the hardest thing that I have to do. But it later turned out to be the prettiest sight that I got to see. Or in Coco Chanel's word, beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself. Well, that beauty in the nakedness is the kind of beauty that we are all granted since birth. But we have to really try and really acknowledge it. Put in effort to see it. Put in our mind to acknowledge it. And for that, may you will also come to find and come to love yourself throughout your own journey of exploring the art of being naked. Thank you.